there always has to be a king, right? A top dog. In a time where restless territorial reconfiguration and expansion, college football seems to stand without a leader, without a crown. Sure, there's Michigan, the reigning national champion. Yet Michigan seems to have been forgotten, kind of like the old stories of King Arthur. Ohio State, they could lay their claim to the throne, boasting a potential chokehold on recruiting. They do have the number one spot. However, they've stumbled at the joust against the same forgotten national champion, one blemished and marred by scandal, Michigan. What about Oregon? Oregon, behind the might of savvy financiers, they've made many runs to the throne, but they have no rings. They still hold no rightful claim to the seat. The same can be said of Texas, whose glory days of standing atop the mountain of slain foes has petered away like the sound of wind or like Vince Young to the NFL. It remains to be seen if they can regain what was once theirs. Then there's Georgia, a mighty competitor, we admit, but it's a kingdom shaped by another. With two claims to the throne over the past 3 years, one could make a solid argument that they are the rightful kings of NCAA football. However, there does stand a true king, a rightful heir to the throne, one who has worn the crown for decades and decades before that. Of course, we're talking about Alabama. The mighty ruler, detested by those who've had to gaze up at their seat atop the mountain for so long, has been the thorn in the side of would-be challengers such as Georgia. In fact, was it not Alabama who ended that black and red reign last year in Atlanta? Sure, Alabama hasn't won a championship in the last 3 seasons, at least not a national one. Instead, they beat Georgia in their own backyard, again, winning the mightiest conference in all of the land. They took the would-be national champs to OT, losing due to a bad snap. Some would even say they were one wide receiver away from winning it all 2 seasons ago. Again, even with all the change, Alabama currently remains in the top 5 of recruiting. In a world in which everyone said it couldn't be done after King Saban retired from rule, there steps King Kalen, along with a court of mighty knights who has ushered in another potential dynasty for the reigning king of college football. Does Alabama still sit on the throne? Joining me tonight is Chris to talk about this. Christopher, you have to unmute yourself.
There we go.
Chris,
Sir?
who is the reigning king of college football?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, are you looking at national championships? Are you looking at recruiting? Are you looking at the overall body of work over the past 10 years?
I'll look at it this way, right? Show the graphic. There's always one team sitting at the top that everybody wants to go for. Everybody wants to beat them. They've got the target on their back, right?
Yeah.
Right. We've seen a little bit of a shift from Alabama to Georgia, but Alabama, they still chant, "We want Bama. We want
still
the
want Bama."
Right. The chant still rang loud. But now that Nick Saban has left, a vacuum per se, right? And NIL and the transfer portal has levied out the talent. Who sits on that throne? Who's the guy going into the 2024 season? Let's start with Michigan.
Well, no, let me do this.
Go ahead.
Can we just eliminate one real quick?
Yeah, who do you want to eliminate?
Oregon's out.
Oregon's out.
I don't care what anybody says about Dan Lanning. This, okay, yeah. What's he going into his 3rd season?
Yeah,
is that what is something like that? I mean, he's got an 815 win percentage. That's great. Mm-hmm. But Oregon, how many national championships have they ever won? Exactly, just like the little O on the side of their building.
Oh, my fingers are too fat, but you know what.
Yeah, you're. We'll blame it on your disability. I mean, you got to count them out. I mean, they made one playoff appearance in 2014. And who did they lose to in the final?
Who did they lose to, Chris?
Ohio State.
That's right.
That's right. They in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, Oregon's won 3 Pac-12 championships. They're out. They don't have what it takes to be the king. You know, they just don't have it. So
Oregon's out.
Oregon's
right
out.
Get the Ducks out of here. Even with what they're doing in recruiting, get the Ducks out.
Oregon's out.
Okay.
They're done.
Fair. I like it. Get them out.
I don't care what anybody says. I'll stand on that business.
Go quack your ass somewhere else. Get out of here.
Just like Mike Gundy said earlier, I've been in this situation at least 1,000 times, and I've been okay.
All right, so who's next?
Let's talk about Michigan.
Let's talk about the mighty Wolverines of Ann Arbor.
Let's talk about them.
Let's talk about them.
So they've won a national championship last year. You know how many have they won in the last 10 years?
That's a good question.
Do you know? I know. Yep.
I guess.
Just one. Just one. They have made 3 playoff appearances since the playoffs came around.
Okay.
You know what their record in the playoffs is?
Terrible.
2-2.
2-2. Oh, that's not as bad as I thought.
Their 2 wins came last year.
Okay. All right. Good for them.
Good for them.
But as the reigning national champion, no one's talking about Michigan. What happened to Michigan?
Harbaugh's gone, man.
Harbaugh left. And unlike what we saw at Alabama when Nick Saban left, they just hit the downtrend.
Look.
They hit it so hard. Why?
Don't know. Couldn't tell
does
you.
Michigan sit on the throne of college football as the reigning national champion?
I don't. No.
I want to see what our viewers.
They're like what's that Disney movie? I
don't know.
Robin Hood, the animated version. What was the little lion prince's name that wore the little crown that didn't fit?
Little John. Not Little John.
No.
Prince John. I don't know.
Prince something. Well, that's what Michigan is right now.
Got it. Good for them.
That's what they look. I mean, hell, past 10 years, they've won 3 conference championships.
Okay.
So I mean, you can't say, they're at the top of the conference.
I feel like with Oregon and Michigan, there's a common denominator in terms of a team that we're hinting towards, and that might be Ohio State. Am I jumping ahead?
I think you're right.
There we go. Teresa got us.
Prince John.
Prince John.
I think that's
What about Ohio State?
No, I remember he sucked his thumb a lot.
Say it again.
He sucked his thumb a lot.
He did suck his thumb a lot. All the rings.
And he'd say, "Oh, mother."
Ohio State won the inaugural college football playoff.
They did.
And they beat Alabama to do it.
They did.
Does Ohio State, do they sit at the top of the mountain leading into the 2024 season?
I don't know. The last 10 years, they've won 5 conference championships.
That's not bad.
Under Ryan Day, they're 875.
Wow.
That's not bad either.
It's not bad. They're sitting right there with the number 1 recruiting class right now.
They've made 5 playoff appearances.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
How many national championships have they won in the last 10 years?
Tell me, Chris.
2014. That's right. What?
Hey, isn't it the same amount as Michigan?
It is. It's only one. It's only one more than Oregon.
Only one more than Oregon.
Only one more. Only one more.
And the same as Michigan. So does Ohio State sit at the top of the college football world? Do they sit on the iron throne of college football?
No, they're kind of like a court jester. Or you know what? Maybe they're like an executioner because they'll screw a season up.
Maybe they're a duke or a lord or
maybe they're like Lord Farquhar.
Maybe
with his dyed beard.
I love this segment. This is great.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not Oregon. It's not Michigan.
Nope.
It's not.
What was that? Hold on. Do that again. What was the myth? What is that?
It's a crooked M.
You know what happens when you take that crooked M and do that? Yeah.
It's not Texas.
Let's talk about Texas.
Texas is not back.
Let's talk about Texas.
They're not on the throne.
I don't even know why you have that banner up there.
I needed a space filler, man.
What's Sarkeesian's win percentage since he's been there?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's a little over 50%.
641.
Boom.
641.
Boom.
In the past 10 years, how many Big 12 championships has Texas won?
Not many. One. The
One.
daycare conference of college football.
That's right. How many national championships have they won in the last 10 years?
The same amount as
Oregon.
Zero.
That's right. But only one less. Only one less than Ohio State, Michigan.
Only one less than Ohio State.
Only one less.
Michigan. So, Chris, it looks like the only real contenders for the throne are the two SEC juggernauts known. One hails from the house of Tuscaloosa and the other hails from the house of Athens.
That's right.
One is the son of the Tide.
Yep.
Georgia and Alabama. Now, who sits atop the throne of college football heading into the 2024 season?
That is, we could argue all night and it's going to be a coin flip, but let's talk some stats.
Let's use stats.
Under Kirby, what's he, eight years at Georgia now? This will be season number 9, maybe.
He's been there.
For some reason, has it been that long?
Almost.
Yeah, I think he's going into year number 9, season 9. He's 855.
Okay, that's not terrible.
That's not bad.
Is that better than Mark Richt?
I think it is.
I don't think it's much better than Mark.
It's not much better, but you got to look at how long was Mark Richt at Georgia?
Forever.
Yeah,
a long time.
A long time.
But Georgia does boast 2 championships.
Yes. In the past, how many years?
Forever.
In the past 3 years, they've won 2.
They've won 2 in the past 3 years, but they've only won 2 in like 50 years.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's 2 different ways you can look at that.
In the past 10 years, they've only won 2 SEC championships.
Who keeps beating them in the SEC championship game?
I don't know. Maybe the team that in the past 10 years has Severin. That's the
old English way to say 7.
Severin. 7 SEC championships. Who is that? Who's had 7 in the last 10 years?
Last I checked, that was the house of the Tide in Tuscaloosa, baby.
That's right.
The last time I checked, it was Alabama.
Now, in the past 10 years, they've won 3 national championships. It seems like it should be more, right? It does. But I mean, they've won 6 in the past 20 years.
That's a lot.
It is.
That's
under Saban, they had an 878 win percentage.
Wow, almost 90%.
8 playoff appearances.
That's a lot. Kings of the playoff for certain.
Yep. And they won the playoffs in 15, 17, and 20.
Can we also point out that they won the first ever and last ever West versus East SEC championship game?
They did.
Doesn't really bode for the argument, but it's a gorgeous fact nonetheless. Very poetic. It's poetic fact.
Yep.
So, Sir Chris of LA. And by LA, I mean Lower Alabama, folks.
Yeah.
Who sits atop the throne, the Iron Throne of college football, going into the 2024 season?
Mm. I'm going to have to say the mighty Crimson Tide.
Rolleth, sir. Rolleth,
Yes.
type, sir.
Yes.
Rolleth. Now, Georgia likely will be the word amongst the peasants and town folk leading into the season.
They will be.
How do we justify Alabama, the Tide of Tuscaloosa, retaining the Iron Throne of the NCAA, and everyone's going to be talking about the Dogs of Athens? Now, how do we justify that? Do it for the Georgia.
When the clock hits 0 after week number 4.
That's the answer I was looking for, sir. This, sir, is why you've been officially knighted by the court of way off sides.
Yeah.
Enough with the stick. Enough with the stick.
Don't touch your sword to my shoulders.
Sword fight. Listen. Yes. Still, even after Nick Saban is gone. Like, I read that out loud. Thanks, Keith.
Quick.
Even after Nick Saban is gone and Kirby Smart remains, he rode in on a white horse from Seattle. And behind him, the mighty Sir Morgan, King Kalen DeBoer, first of his name, rode into Tuscaloosa to lay claim to the mightiest kingdom in the NCAA. And they remain that.
Yep.
They remain that, despite losing so much to the dreaded transfer portal, despite the hurdles in recruiting, despite the naysayers. Alabama remains atop the college football throne in its rightful place. Why is that? Because Alabama's a blue blood. Right? Is there a program as storied as Alabama?
I don't think there is.
You can make an argument.
Maybe.
What's up, Eric?
It depends on what you consider storied.
Listen,
I mean,
has there been a program that has been
Penn State has a story.
It's not a fun one. It's not one.
You know, I'm just saying. I mean, if you're looking at dominance over the past 20 seasons, what since 2007?
Yes.
No, not really. I mean, everybody's wanted to beat Bama. Everybody's wanted to beat Bama. And
Yes.
every season, at the end of every season, you heard the same damn thing coming out of every other fan base and every other small media outlet for other teams. Oh, well, Nick Saban's being courted by Texas. Nick Saban's being courted by Michigan. Nick Saban's being courted by this team. So, what does that tell you?
It tells me that everyone was scared of Nick Saban. Therefore, they were scared of Alabama. This is a goated comment right here by Eric. And I think as the way offsides court, we should officially knight Sir Eric the Longshank, if you get what I mean. Thanks for tuning in, Eric. We're doing a gimmick show tonight, if you haven't figured that out yet. Yes, Alabama still is the name to beat in college football. If it wasn't, people wouldn't have reveled in the glory of Nick Saban retiring. People would not have laughed in the face of Alabama. Now, they didn't see what was coming. They didn't see the Seattle Saban hopping on a plane and heading his ass to Tuscaloosa. They didn't see that.
Nope.
But they wouldn't have laughed. They wouldn't have scoffed at what they seem to be misfortune. The Cali connection of Seattle Saban, Courtney Morgan. Alabama is still the team to be. I said it for
Well,
weeks. The
you
brand
see
is
it.
ruthless.
You see it every day especially on Twitter.
Hold tight.
Other fan bases,
That's
they
right.
say, wait, what?
We can't.
We can't.
Put your comment on the screen, but I want you to know that's another GOAT comment. And the way all sides court hereby dubs you Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah. You know what? We'll let people know later in another way.
Okay.
But think about this. You see it on Twitter, mainly from Auburn fans, Georgia fans. I don't see a lot out of Texas fans.
Well, in my case, it's fellow Bama fans. You get one thing wrong, and
yeah.
They get people.
It's okay. Yeah. They don't jump on what's his face and any Wilt phone the thong man.
King Wilt Dong.
They don't jump on him, but what I was going to say, all these fans, it's, well, if Saban wasn't still there. Saban's on payroll, but he's not there. He's got other obligations.
Trying to surf.
Surf.
You know what Nick Saban's doing for the University of Alabama?
What's he doing? Tell us.
He's working on their NIL. He's not recruiting. He's not coaching.
Nope.
He's working on their NIL. That's what he's doing.
Yep.
That's what he's doing.
So it's they're scared.
Let me ask you this.
They're scared of Kalen DeBoer.
They are scared of Kalen DeBoer. And that for good reason. You should be.
They should be.
You have to look at the guy back there on that horse. That's the wrong shoulder.
Yeah, who is that guy?
That's him and Courtney Morgan. That's Coach DeBoer and Courtney Morgan.
Courtney Morgan on the horse?
Yes, that's Courtney Morgan on the horse, and that's Kalen DeBoer behind him when they rode into Tuscaloosa.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I got
that's
you.
Exactly what that is.
Okay.
You almost set me up for failure there, man.
I did.
What Chris is trying to tell you people is it's still Bama. The brand is still... Chris leaned forward and his whole body disappeared except for the logo. Well, Benny did that and proved me wrong. The brand is still lethal.
Like magic.
And it's glorious. And we will drink ale from curved horns and the skulls of our enemies in just a few weeks.
Yes.
Because, guys, this is the last month without football.
It is.
This is the last full month without college football. The tide's getting ready to roll. It's getting ready to come in. And on it, you'll find longboats of monsters and killers ready to pillage and raid all of college football, led by one man.
One man.
That guy right there.
Oh, look at his little crown.
Kalen DeBoer.
And you know what? And if he doesn't lead us into battle and win, you know who's going to be angry?
Me.
Prince Willie.
Prince Willie will be very upset. But Prince Willie can jump off a cliff and make sure they're shot right.
Be nice.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Prince Willie. So, there you have it, folks. Alabama, the mightiest knight in all the kingdom, still stands tall and sits in the Iron Throne of college football. Despite Michigan winning the latest national championship, despite Ohio State and Oregon buying number one classes, despite Texas beating Alabama on their own field, and despite Georgia winning 2 of the last 3 national championships, I'm trying to think of how to say it in Latin, but I can't remember the terminology. The best of the best is still the Tide. Still the Tide. Roll Tide, Keith.
Roll Tide. You know who's still trying to build a kingdom, and they're just failing at it.
I would guess it's the plainsmen of the Auburn
of Western Georgia.
Yes, that is my my guess, sir.
And it's just not working for them. I know you saw my tweet today.
I did. Let's talk about it.
I had lunch with a. I'm not going to say if he was a former Auburn player. I'm just going to say he's in Mobile, and the reason the whole rumor was out that Mr. Freeze needed some NIL money reallocated.
Yes, he needed about $1 million moved somewhere else.
They promised 1.5 to a certain recruit.
Who was that?
Say the
name.
We're gonna say his name is we're gonna say his name is Alvin. We'll call him Alvin. Yes.
Not Chipmunk, though. He's not talking about the Chipmunk.
No, we'll call him Alvin Henderson.
That name sounds like a recruit I know.
It is. Sounds just like it.
So the word on the street, the rumor,
we're not saying this is true, but I will say that this came from what may be a former player. And
the rumor, currently circulating story or report of uncertain truth, is that Auburn, Hugh Freeze, wanted to pay Alvin Henderson how much, Chris?
1.5. The word is that's a done deal.
Sure.
He blew his wad on Alvin, and he needed money to get Juju.
Well, Interesting. So where would that money come from for Juju Lewis if they were going to make an
it would have to be reallocated.
From where, Chris? What sport could you reallocate?
If it's at Auburn, it wouldn't come from the gymnastics fund.
Allegedly. No, it wouldn't come from softball. Definitely not from basketball.
No, not from equestrian or fishing.
No, they're big on their horses there.
Probably baseball.
That seems likely.
I mean,
yes, Eric. Allegedly.
Or basketball.
What's up, you big hogs on a gun? I didn't read this before I put it on. So you're telling me that Hugh Freeze possibly, allegedly, needed funds to try to recruit Juju Smith because he blew the funds he had available on a name like Alvin Henderson. Again, this is a rumor, a circulating story of uncertainty. He needed funds and potentially didn't have them available because he spent them somewhere else.
Nope.
So he had to get them.
Yep.
Where would he have gotten them from? Sounds like
Eric's comment he just posted up. How about Yellowwood? The thing is, you're not going to have a booster like that say, hey, here's whatever you want, because we've seen the debacle that happened in Florida.
Yes.
I'm not going to waste $1 million or $2 million on a player that's not guaranteed to commit at all.
Yes.
So it's got
to say whatever we want, as long as we say allegedly. Allegedly.
Mike Price allegedly went to a strip club.
Oh, that definitely happened.
Yeah, it did. We can say whatever we want about him.
Love you, Mike. Shout out. Sponsor us.
What's he doing now?
I don't know.
You know what he's not doing? missing out on Juju Lewis.
That's true. 'Cause where's Juju Lewis going, Chris?
Juju going to Boulder.
Yeah, he's gonna go be a Buffalo.
Yeah.
At least this.
And do you know why?
Well,
Do you know why? You want me to tell you what sold him?
sure.
It wasn't the Tesla Cybertrucks, and it wasn't the views of Boulder. It's the pro-style offense they run.
Right. Does Auburn run that kind of offense?
No, Auburn hasn't run that kind of offense since Pat died. So,
We're going to talk about this on Thursday night. Caitlin.
Russell.
Please be sure to join us. Not just Russell, Michael
Yeah.
Carroll. A couple of guys got their 5th star. I heard this too, Keith, but you
Did
forgot
you?
to add the word
Allegedly.
allegedly. That's a fact. Yes, ma'am, it is. I didn't read this. I just put it up here. Okay. All right. Listen here, scoundrels. This isn't after dark. Keep it reeled in.
No, not yet. But, you know, that's just, I wanted to bring
That's
that
the
up.
wild tomorrow night.
Because I was kind of taken aback because it just came out of the blue.
Well, it didn't really come out of the blue if you pay attention to what we've been talking about for the past
No,
week.
we were having a chat, and it was like, well, you know, you gave Alvin 1.5.
Mhm.
I was like, what? I mean,
Right, Eric, we love you.
it's okay. I had a potty mouth.
Listen. Oh, man. Sorry, the old back's acting up.
It should be after this weekend.
Yes, sir. You need to be more specific.
I need to be more Pacific.
More Pacific Ocean.
Please be more
Guys.
Pacific.
So let's answer the question once and for all before we end this thing tonight. Who's the new king of college football? There is no new king. There's only he who reigns.
That's it.
And he who reigns is the Alabama Crimson Tide. They haven't gone anywhere, folks. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to the Georgia fans. Don't listen to the
No.
Auburn fans. Don't listen to the Ohio State fans, Texas. Damn sure don't listen to the Tennessee fans. Alabama hasn't gone anywhere. They haven't gone anywhere. And you're about to see that as they wrap up this 2025 recruiting class. As we've been telling you guys for a couple of months, Alabama finishes with a top 5 class and makes the playoff. Watch out. See that throne there in the picture? It's missing a national championship trophy, but you're going to want to add another one too this year, and the Heisman.
Well,
and the Heisman. If you don't know what
we
I'm talking
forget
about,
about
go
the
watch my
Heisman.
video on Jalen Monroe.
Yeah. We've forgotten about the Heisman trophies has been won.
So,
Yep. So it's Alabama.
keep
It
your
always
receipts.
has been, and it always will be.
They called him Husky Harson, when really he's just Seattle Saban.
That's it.
Oops. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sir
Always.
Matt of Wigan Bottom.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Matt. Yeah. Caitlin, I agree with you. Go watch my video from last night. First, to answer your question, I have no damn clue. So, yes, sir. Like I said, the tide's rolling in, and upon it are longboats full of murderers and monsters. That's a soundbite. You can expect that one to end up on Twitter later.
Yeah.
But that'll be it, guys. I think that's going to be it for tonight.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night,
Yeah, we know you're tired of seeing Michael's face today.
I know.
I
was
noticed
doing damage control.
he's been on for like a total of 12 hours.
Damage control, man. I made a stink with the Travis.
It's okay. It happens.
It
Look,
does happen. It does happen. But
Look,
all the punter accounts.
Danny Sheridan
is
Danny Sheridan's the best odds maker in football, and he doesn't get them right.
That's true.
So come on.
That's very true. Very true. Hey, Herb and Raj are live. Go listen to Herb and Raj, please.
Are they live tonight?
They are live right now. I love Herb and Raj.
Well, I'll have to jump up there when we leave.
Yeah, go over there. That's exactly where I'm headed. Until tomorrow night, Way Offsides After Dark, where things get sexy once we all get a little tipsy. That show will be coming at you 9:30 p.m. Central Time. We'll be live on YouTube and Twitter. Anything goes, as long as it's allowed on YouTube. Okay, we're not trying to get banned. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs so that we can monetize.
Can we say dirty words?
Yeah, we do say dirty words.
Is that okay on YouTube?
Yes, certain ones will be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't stress it. We got to talk to Jeff about the other word, though. But if you haven't, you must go like, subscribe, do all the things. Why is this important? It's important because if you like and subscribe, more people see us, more people watch, we engage with our audience. We can keep bringing you more content. Got some big plans. Doing some sponsoring some football camps coming up. We got a lot of stuff going on, guys. So, we want to take you guys on the route of your life. This season's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. So, until tomorrow night, as always, say your prayers, wash your hands, read your Bibles, horns down, and
I can't do it right.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.